Alright, so what's up, guys? So we're out here on another run. Out here running for y'all. Right, doing this craziness. And, you know, it's not for no reason, right? We do this to simply outwork, right? Because we know in the back of our minds, right, that there are people that aren't doing this, right? That aren't putting in the work to go running, whatever they want to do. And it's not to say that everyone wants to do the same thing as me or has the same goals, but I bet you there are people, there are some out there that have these same goals, right? That want to attain the best body they've ever had, or get into the best shape and run faster, right? Or get stronger. And, you know, what's to say that you would be able to do those things without work? And who's to blame you, right? You got the idea. You know that, you know, to get these things, you gotta work and outwork people. And for that reason, we will give you 3 tips to outwork everyone, right? Destroy your competition. Because that is essentially what will transform you into that person you've always wanted to be. So for that, we will go into tip number 1, and that is to find your purpose, find your meaning, right? Find your why, right? Because that's the first thing that you got to do before, you know, you step onto that basketball court or on inside that lab, right? Because you have to know why you're there, right? Because if you don't, you will question yourself. You will wonder, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And, you know, you're exactly right, right? You're looking for a reason why, and you don't have it. And, you know, even subconsciously, if you don't have the answer, your brain will assume, you know, that you're doing something meaningless, because that's what it is. It's meaningless if you don't attach a meaning to it, you know, and stand behind it. And what your brain will do is it will find excuses for you not to do it. It'll prevent you, you know, from wanting to do the work or even doing the work, right? You won't even go inside the gym anymore like you always were, because you don't know why you're even going there in the first place. And like Warren Buffett says, you know, don't sleepwalk through life. When you do that, you're sleepwalking, right? You're just wandering about aimlessly like a zombie, right? Because what happens when people sleepwalk, right? Other people see them like, what are they doing? Why are they doing that? It's so random, right? It almost has no purpose. And for you, you gotta realize that you're doing the same thing when you don't know why you're doing things, right? You don't have your purpose there. So for me, right, let's say, like, because I want to be an engineer, a biomedical engineer, and my reasoning is because I want to build prosthetics, because I would see people, you know, that are struggling, right, that have unfortunate scenarios of them losing an arm. And, you know, for me, that drives me to want to help them. I want to figure out how I can solve their issues and, you know, make the world a better place for them. Because it's not ultimately about me, it's about, you know, how I can help the world. And that's the way I see it. That's my reason why. And, you know, just extends beyond that. It has multiple layers to it. That's what you want to do, is you want to have, right, your surface level goals, right, of how much money you want to attain, which house you want to build. But you got to understand, you know, what's beyond that, what's behind that big house, right? Behind, you know, how you plan on attaining it. And that's where purpose comes in. And, you know, from that, you'll be able to put in the hours and not even realize it, because you will have a reason why. So, without further ado, we will go into tip numero 2. Number 2, oh shit. Yeah, let's cross this thing real quick before this light changes. And we made it. So, woo. So for tip number 2, to outwork everyone, and as simple as it sounds, just show up. right? Because you got to know this, that most people, you know, they want goals, they have ambitions and everything, but they don't even show up at the door, right? So many people want an amazing body and they never step foot in a gym. So, you know, it's funny to say, you know, how can they want this or expect to have this, unfortunately, this beautiful body and strength, but, you know, they're not working towards it. They're cheating themselves in a way. And, you know, for you, because you have other people that aren't even showing up, just by you getting in that door, getting that gym membership, right? Starting to try out for your new, who is that? Just doing that will put you, you know, in a position to outwork them, because you're essentially, just by you getting in your car and getting there, you did more work than them, so you outworked them, and from there you can put in the reps to getting better, right? Because that is what it boils down to. Number three is to put in the reps, right? To do it over and over again, right? Get that skill, right? Get those neural pathways in your mind, you know, to light up every time you do something, right? Almost like, you know, a free throw, right? How are these NBA people, these professionals, able, you know, to be so amazing at the free throw line and do the same thing that they do in practice as they do when there's 30,000 people screaming at them, right, and wanting them to miss? Their form doesn't change. They got to do the same thing they've done over and over again. And, you know, by simply doing something over and over again. But, you know, one thing you want to do to outwork your competition is to work the right way, work smart, right? Find, you know, the free throw technique that works best for you, and you want to do it over and over again. But if you don't find that technique in the first place, you're almost wasting your time, right? You're almost doing these pointless repetitions the wrong way. And, you know, for you, you could save a lot of time, a lot of energy by simply figuring out the right way to do things, how you're gonna go about your business. And, you know, for that, you gotta figure it out. You gotta find a coach, a trainer, somebody that can help you, or an online instructor, whatever you gotta do, take a class. But, you know, for you, you gotta find the right technique, and from there, put in the repetition, right? Do it over and over and over again, because simply reading a book about it and learning it is not going to get you that skill that you want, right, when you're out working people. And, you know, for that, you know, you can imagine, like, you want a three-point shot, you want, you know, to be the best three-point shooter in the world. You want to figure out how, you know, to work out that three-point shot as efficiently as you can. You read all the books, right, that you can. You understand what it takes, right? You can observe, you know, the people, how they're shooting, and see what's up with them. Are they doing it the right way? But if you don't, you know, simply go and put in the work yourself, right? Show up, you know, learn the technique, get a coach, and find, you know, that special, you know, thing that you got to do, right? And how you're gonna do it. You won't be able to outwork them if you don't do it. But if you take these 3 tips into account, you will, right? They'll set you on the right path to outwork your competition, right? Because you want to be in that top hierarchy of people. You don't want to be simply another person, you know, average, right? People hate that tag. So for that, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video, because, you know, from this, you will be able to understand, you know, what it takes to outwork others. You put in more effort, more time, more energy, and, you know, from that you will get those results that exceed theirs, right? Because you want, it's a competition. You want to outwork people, right? And it's not to say that you want to compete with yourself, of course, but it has its place, because the work that you do on yourself will, you know, carry on, you know, into comparisons to the people, right? You want to be the best bodybuilder in your state, and, you know, for that you got to put in the work. So you know, for that, we say thank you, right? And we hope you enjoyed that video as we're about to die by this guy. So let's see.